Thank you. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. What you doing? My goodness. Yeah. Yeah.
I thank y'all for coming. If you would, please take your cell phones out and cut them off or put them on vibrate before we start the meeting. If you would, I'll ask that you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then I'll let you be seated for devotion and prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Okay, the devotion tonight is just from Proverbs. If you go through Proverbs, a lot of times it's a lot of real interesting if you'll just take the date of the month and then go to that proverb, and it carries you through the month if you do it from the beginning of the month. And today's Proverbs 3 is wisdom besets well-being. I'm just going to read the first few verses. Verse 1 says, "My son, do not forget my teaching, but keep my commands in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Then you will find favor and a good name in the sight of God and man." Then number 5 is just a great verse. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." So tonight, I'm just, we're always asking for wisdom and guidance when we're up here, but it affects everybody. So if you will just keep Proverbs in mind, and sometimes when you have a chance, just whatever day of the month it is, if you'll go to that proverb and read it, you'll get wisdom for sure. May we pray. Our Lord and our God, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for the rain we've had, and we thank you for the sunshine. We pray, Lord, that you'll just continue to bless our county, that you'll give us wisdom and guidance in the things that we do. We pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, we'll start out. Do we have any elected officials? I know we got a department head that just came in with the fire department, but I don't think he's got anything right now. We'll go to the approval of the minutes. The board will look at the July 20th regular meeting. Do we have any additions, corrections, or deletions? Have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Have a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? Okay, we'll move down. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we'll go to old business. We have the Dodge County Landing.
Yeah, I got some more.
Okay.
First of all, I'd like to move to rescind the motion to abandon Dodge County.
We can't hear you, Brian.
Excuse me about that. I said I'd like to move to rescind the motion
It's
to,
not on.
it's not on. Not good? All right. Can you hear me now? Nothing yet? How about that? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There we go. All right. I'd like to move to rescind the motion to abandon the Dodge County Landing.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Now, your process is gonna be the people that made the motion. First of all, who made it first,
Okay,
has to allow it, and then the person who seconded it has to allow it.
okay.
I'm saying that's the case, but you have to publicly state.
All right.
I think that's kind of what we're doing, but let's say,
Second. Sharon, I think?
yeah.
That's
Okay,
a
Are you
so,
okay with that, Miss Sharon?
Yes, I am.
okay, so we have the motion and a second from the two that made it. All right, any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it's unanimous. It is unanimous.
All right, one other thing on that.
Yes.
We do still have some issues. There's a well down there, some other issues we've got to get straightened out of that land. As to whether or not it is still viable, I'm told it is. So I would like for our next 2 meetings to be at the beginning of the meeting, public hearings as to what to do with the land at the boat land. I'll make that a form of motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
So,
Have a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it's unanimous. We'll go to new business. Have the approval of accounts payable. If you will take a minute and look over that list. If you have a question, I'm sure the county manager can answer it. If not tonight, he'll get you an answer this week. So take a minute and let's look over the accounts payable, please.
Move to approve.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the accounts payable. Do I have a second? Have a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? Okay, all in favor of the boards, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it's unanimous. We'll go to the adopt the 2026 Sheriff's benevolent, fund budget.
Yes, sir. So in the 2025 audit, it was identified that we did not adopt a budget for the sheriff's benevolent fund. In course correction, I am presenting you with the 2026 benevolent fund budget. And that will create a finding to be released from our 2026 audit.
Okay, any questions from the board? Okay, can we get a motion then to approve? All right, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the board?
One question.
Sure.
Where does the money come from that goes into this fund?
That is completely controlled by the sheriff, so I don't know if it is through some type of dues he collects, or it's from a percentage of the jail fund. I'm unaware of where that money generates from, but I know it does not generate from our general fund.
Okay.
Other questions? Okay, any questions or comments from the public?
What's it for?
It is my understanding that the benevolent fund is there if a sheriff deputy runs into some form of hardship, he can make an application. There is a board that oversees that of 3 individuals that are employed by the sheriff's office. And they could also, so the deputy would make a petition for hardship. I'm also under the same impression that it can be used if there is a fallen officer. Some of that money can be used to their family.
Okay, any other questions from the public? Okay, on the board, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it's unanimous. We'll go to the Farmers Market Week proclamation. I assume everybody has a copy of that. That's
Yes, sir. So
Up here.
in the packet.
okay. It says the Dodge County Farmers Market Week proclamation, August the 2nd through the 8th, 2026. Whereas Dodge County farmers and artisans provide citizens with access to helpful, locally and regionally produced foods and products through farmers markets, which are expanding and evolving to accommodate the demands for a diverse array of agricultural products. And whereas we know that the Dodge County Farmers Market supports the farm to table movement, handcrafted movement, and artisan movement, which highlights the role that local farmers, crafters, and artisans play in supporting healthy communities and stimulating local economies. And whereas farmers markets and other agricultural direct marketing outlets provide infrastructure to assist in the distribution of farm and value-added products, thereby contributing approximately $9 billion each year to the U.S. economy. And whereas farmers markets serve as significant outlets by which small to medium, new and beginning, and veteran agricultural producers market agricultural products, generating revenue that supports the sustainability of family farms and the revitalization of rural communities nationwide. And whereas the Dodge County Board of Commissioners recognize the importance of expanding agricultural marketing opportunities to assist and encourage the next generation of farmers and ranchers, generate farm income to help stimulate business development and job creation, build community connections through rural and urban linkages, and more. Now, therefore, to further the awareness of farmers markets contributions to Dodge County life, we, the Dodge County Board of Commissioners, Dan McCraney, Brian Watkins, Sharon Flanagan, Leanne Green, and Jeffrey Jones, do hereby proclaim the week of August 2nd through the 8th, 2026 as Dodge County Farmer Market Week in conjunction with the observance of National Farmers Market Week. We call upon Dodge County citizens to celebrate farmers markets with appropriate observance and activities and witness thereof. Okay, so that is the proclamation. Can I get a motion and a second? We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have several seconds. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public?
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Being none, unanimous, we'll go to the Regional TIA Act Band 2.
Yes, sir. So in front of you on your tablet, a contract between GDOT and the county. And what they are asking for us to do is on the TIA Band 2, which is the T-SPLOST, the regional collection of sales tax. What they're asking is for local let of these projects from estimation to also contractors. And in doing so, you have to be qualified. The local government has to be qualified to do so. We have been found to be in qualification. And what this contract does is it gives us the procedure that it must be followed in order for us to let it out and then also begin construction. The projects that are identified in Band 2 are the Lynn Hickman Road, WPA Road, Reedy Branch Road East, and the Reedy Branch Road West. So those 4 projects are what we're looking for to let. And I've highlighted some important things in there. So it tells you that, that we desire to deliver all are part of the scope of the following projects, and that no work or on any phase of the project shall begin without written notice to proceed from the department, which would be GDOT, to the local government for each of the following separate phases: engineering, construction, and also transit. But that's and also it gives us procedures on how to request the reimbursement, so that way that no local tax money, no general fund money is being expended in order to get reimbursed. So we would send them the pay apps, they would send us a check, and then we would pass that along to the contractor.
And it goes through December of 31st, 2038. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Now that is, I think that's the agreement to get it done in Band 2.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board?
I have a comment. Thank you very much for the things that you highlighted. Of any of this that you highlighted or others, is there anything of concern to you?
Not to me. I did find the publication pieces that I highlighted very interesting, but I did send it to Ron for him to review, and he has not reported any issues that he has seen inside the contract.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Or can we get a motion from the board to approve this contract?
So moved.
Have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none is unanimous. We'll go to the Georgia Regional Water Planning Council, and it's on page 27 on your tablet. This is basically information.
That is correct. So I received notification through email that pursuant to Governor Kemp's signing of House Resolution 1008, that the DCA with the Environmental Protection Division is reconstituting Georgia's regional water planning councils. And in the email that you have in front of you, you will see that they are asking for nominations to that board. I'm not sure what the regions are exactly yet, but there is you'll see there is a call tomorrow for kind of a planning call to make sure that we get a little bit more clearer understanding of what is exactly needed. But they're asking from basically nominations from the different, I guess, all different kind of walks of life, agriculture based, local government based. But again, you'll see the desired qualifications, the service requirements. And then on the next page, you will see that, again, that the Zoom meeting is tomorrow. But the one thing I want to point out is that the nomination period is open for 45 days, and the names will need to be collected by August the 29th.
And you apply directly to their website.
Correct. So if you'd like to send, so I guess what I'm asking for at this point in time, would this board be okay with advertising this through our normal channel like we would normally do any other board?
Yes. How many nominations do we have?
It does not specifically say in the email, so hopefully I'll find that
I
information out
didn't find it
tomorrow.
either. I thought I was overlooking it.
I think, because I received the same email. I think they're just distributing it out to the larger group of people in those categories that they have. So that people they can either self-nominate themselves, or they can recommend somebody, or they can recommend several somebodies. I think that's what they're doing. Broadcasting, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
If you read it, my understanding is the the state will pick the people that'll be on there, either EPD and the DCA or what. I'm not
I
sure the
misunderstood. I
process.
thought we had three select, or maybe 1 to 3 selections that we can, so we're just nominating and we don't have any say as to whether or not any of our nominations. I understand.
Okay,
It's not, they want us to pick 3, I think is what I read somewhere.
I'll find out more details tomorrow and be able to communicate that better.
okay. We'll move down then. If nobody's got any questions or anything, you want to go over the 2025 sales ratio study.
So the report is in. We received this last week from the Department of Audits and Accounts. Each year we get this report back from the state, and what it does is it evaluates Dodge County's appraisal personnel on how they are appraising properties, and it compares them to comparable sales. The goal of this report is for us to land somewhere between 36 and 42. And that's percentage. And I think everybody's aware that assessed values are 40% of fair market values. So that's where you want to be, 36 to 42, because you want to be in the, middle is 40, the goal is 40. What this report did, it took in sales that occurred in 2024 and compared it to how we have properties assessed. And the report came back at 29.77. Clearly, we're a ways off from the state's requirement of between 36 and 42. Now, on the next sheet, you will see the 4 major types of class from the 2025 digest and the aggregate of the sales ratio there. Residential being at 38.28, agriculture being at 21.96, and that's the low. So if we did a medium, 22.58, and an aggregate of 24.9, and then commercial and industrial at 36.08. So agriculture values were our largest detractor from our goal. And then, of course, you can go down and see the actual projected digest and the percentage of digest a little bit further. So this is the second sales ratio audit that we've received below the state's requirement. If y'all recall a few meetings ago that Joe Norman came and spoke to us about some concerns of what this state was using in their comparisons. And there were sales studies and that were done that they were kicking out that would have brought this number up. But he didn't have a good reason, and the Department of Audits and Accounts could not give him a good reason of why they were not considering those sales as qualified. So we have tentatively planned just a little brief meeting with some members of the Department of Audits to kind of get a better understanding of why they're not qualifying some of the sales. But again, Joe Norman did tell this board that this was going to be low, and his recommendation was to appeal this. In speaking with the local school board superintendent, he has also come to the same synopsis that it's in their best interest to appeal this as well. After speaking with Joe today, my concern is the number of agricultural sales that they compared it to, and the sample they took was a total of 8. So it's a very, very low number. So we're going, so with this board's permission, I'd like to move forward with an appeal.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
I'll just make a comment. That's statistically too low sample.
Okay. Can we get a motion then to file the appeal, or let the county manager file the appeal? Is that would be the correct?
Move forward with the appeal.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second? Have a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? Yes, sir.
What was the percentage on residential again? I'm sorry, Connor, I missed.
38.7.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it's unanimous.
I'd like to comment on that.
Sure, go right ahead.
Just for anybody that went over your head a little bit, what these numbers mean is, I think almost everybody in here probably have complained to either us or your neighbor that we're valuing your property too high. State just told us that we're not doing enough, or our assessors, we don't control, our assessors are undervaluing land. And they're about, if we do this one more year, they will penalize us by taking over all of the assessments. And we will no longer have local control of the assessments, because in their opinion, we're not keeping up with the high, land value, market value in properties.
Plus, they'll take a penalty percentage off the top before we ever.
Yes, yes, they will take a administrative fee, for lack of better words, off the top. So that's what we're dealing with when we're trying to be, our assessors are trying to be as fair as possible, but the state still says that land is outpacing the values that you see on your evaluations.
Okay, anything else from the board? Okay, at this time we'll move to Mr.
Yes, we got a comment.
I was just gonna ask, on the appeal, what, if he appeals it, is that basically saying we don't agree with the rates that y'all saying
Yes.
we should be?
Yes.
Well, he'll have
No, so
to,
what we're appealing is the samples. We're appealing that, we want to know why they didn't include certain samples.
We're appealing what
The process.
their assessment
Correct.
was of the total land in Dodge County, not individual parcels.
in the small sample.
That's what we're really doing, because the smaller the sample, we want more of a true number.
That's right.
And
But the
the
reason
smaller
that's a
sample,
problem,
you're
if
looking at
someone buys a piece of recreational land and pays $8,000 or $10,000 an acre for timberland, we know someone growing timber will never be able to pay for that type of land. But someone with plenty of money could spend that for recreational track, and it skews the numbers.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Is there a category for recreational track versus, I mean, is there a way to put that in there versus just ag?
That's the goal.
Okay, anything else? All right, at this time we'll move to Mr. Wallace Mullis. If you'll come to the mic, please.
Hello, Wallace Willis. I want to start with the Wilson Woodard, Parker Owens intersection there. This is a very dangerous intersection. If you drive up there one time just to look at it and you pull out, nothing happens, you're good with it. But when you live there and you do that every day, and you're constantly having close calls with people coming over the hill, it's like playing Russian roulette. So I talked to Connor, a mirror, somebody's gonna bust it with a rock every week probably. And Sharon and I was talking about the speed limit on Golf Course Road, and she was saying the curve, kind of a dangerous curve. I don't think a 25-mile speed limit would solve that, because people's gonna go 55, 65, whatever. I'm sure they still are on Golf Course Road, but, so I got a couple of suggestions. The biggest problem is the hill. If you could take about 3 foot off of that hill to where when you pull up to the end of Parker Owens Road, you could see if anything was coming. Right now, you see, I had measured it, but you're seeing about 60 yards maybe. And when you pull out, you can't just shoot and go out, because at the intersection there is a hump. So, and my neighbor, he drives a Prius. I hadn't thought about it. He said he bottoms out if he tries to go out real fast. So that would help a little bit, but the hill would be the biggest thing. And I know y'all can't just go out there and scrape down the road and repave it, because stuff like that costs. But maybe the next time that road is paved, maybe do that. One of my good friends is retired state patrol, and we was talking about it one day, and he said, well, if you pull out and you get hit, I was working that, I'm gonna cite you for failure to use right of way, because I pulled out in front of somebody even though I couldn't see them. So our neighbor, it's been a few years back, he actually pulled out, got T-boned. He was in the wrong. They wrote him up. The guy sued him. He had to get a lawyer. He fought it in court and won. The guy slid 113 foot before he T-boned him and totaled his car. But anyway, it's a bad intersection. Maybe we could get a dangerous intersection sign. But anyway, just maybe some help there. You just, the horse arena there, when you're pulling a trailer and you're coming out there, if anybody's running the speed limit, it ain't easy. They got plenty of time to stop. But we just can't see. So, but anyway, I appreciate it. Help us out. And the road, the Watermelon, buses that's going from Du Bois to, I don't know where they're going. At the end of Wilson Wood or right before Bell Line, the road's busted up there, and going up Bell Line before you get to Morris Barlow, it's busted there. It's actually a pretty good hole started there now. And I think it was the school buses, because before they started coming, it wasn't like that. And they've been pretty steady through the summer. I'm gonna turn into Howard Warner for a little bit. Can I come up?
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is emails.
I've got it on mine, so.
He was wondering, I think he had emailed all of y'all a copy of this. And he wanted to confirm that y'all had got it one,
Yes.
just to make sure that everybody's emails are working. And we've talked, Howard and I have talked a good bit about this, and there's actually a lot of people that's got money that are buying old buildings and restoring them. And when I came to a couple of meetings ago and y'all were talking about the possibility of a 4 mil tax increase, that kind of got my attention. 2 mils on the judicial building and another possible 2 to save the courthouse. So that was why I said just sell it and get rid of it. And Howard kind of took that and run and supposedly has found land that could be used for it. And in Cherokee County, I know you're from up that way.
I live there.
Yeah, there's a couple
I'm
of
from Dodge.
Lee and Brittany Plus, I think they have bought and restored 40 buildings that was old buildings that they have took and moved one from Cobb County. It was the old Civil War building, and they moved it back to ball ground. So there's a lot of people out there that's got plenty of money that potentially could buy these. How many people would actually own a courthouse, could say that they own a courthouse? So, maybe I ought to think, talk about it, think about it. I don't know, just to see if that's something that would be feasible in this situation to save us some money. Do y'all have a vision on, I know y'all voted to tear the jail down, but, do y'all think that this would be a possibility?
I would hope, but we're just, board's reviewing stuff this Wednesday with a work session. So, we're looking at all kind of ideas. It'd be great.
We spoke with, there's a Cobb land mark, Cobb landmark. They go and I reckon they do it in Cobb County, but they literally, when they have an old building like that, they'll put it up. And I think the Wheeler House, they had 40 applicants to want to buy it. And they picked this couple because of their history of doing it. And, but you could set, y'all own it, or county owns it, so you could set whatever kind of limits of what they can and can't do, parking lot, to sell them the circle part and have joint you know, the parking area around it, let it be joint, you know, where the county can use it for the farm. Whenever they have, whatever they have, they could use it. But just explore some options, you know, we get taxed enough, 4 mil increase would be pretty bad. So,
Absolutely.
but anyway, I appreciate
All
it.
right, thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we won't call you Howard Warnock at the next meeting, okay? But thank you for coming. Okay, we'll go to commissioner reports. I'll start with Sharon Flanagan.
And when I was thinking about it, going ahead and applying for that water council.
It's open to anybody that wants to apply. Anybody here, all they have to do is go to that website.
I just want to let you know that. And, I'm actually on the Workforce Development Board, and some scheduling things occur and there's some changes. And so it's now at the same time, only it's in Vidalia, and I need to be at the Airport Authority Board meeting. So I could only attend like the first 15 minutes of that meeting and then drive back to the Airport Authority meeting in time. So I've got a conflict there.
Sharon, did you get, I got a notice today that the airport meeting's been changed from Wednesday to Tuesday.
Well, I'm aware of that. I just mean as a recurring thing. So I think I need to be able to get off of the Workforce Development Board. Otherwise, I don't know how to properly represent this county.
Okay? Just whatever you'd like to do, it'd be fine.
We would have to appoint someone to
Sure.
replace me. Okay, that was it. Thank you.
Okay,
Anything?
okay.
Nothing.
Mr. Jones.
All of guys, Connor's probably gonna mention it with the rec department banquet.
Okay. All right, we'll then move to the county manager report.
So just a few things I want to talk about the most recent Department of Transportation project award. And it has to do with the Norfolk Southern Railway. They have awarded a project to replace some of the signage and painting and pavement markers at 51 locations inside of Blakely, Dodge County, and Lawrence County. And I have a list of those crossings. I don't foresee them having to close any of them, but just in case anybody wanted to know which ones they're going to be working on, I have those. And it's roughly in Dodge County, we seem to have the most, but there's probably 40 different railroad track crossings they are planning to do that work on. And I think the project award was $336,000. I want to let y'all know that as part of ACCG, there is a group also known as the Georgia County Managers Association, and they are becoming a little more active in policy for the Policy Council for ACCG. And they have decided to create districts so that way there's better representation across the state of Georgia. So 3 members on the executive committee currently reside well above north of Macon. I believe it's Spalding, Troop, and Coweta County. And so that leaves a lot of us out when it comes to rural representation. So the districts would be designed to fit with regional commission districts. And as such, I did apply to become a district director and was approved. So I'll be holding district meetings with county managers as it relates to policy and then moving that stuff forward. All right, moving on.
So we're going to be a strong team with ACCG.
Congratulations.
We'll see how that goes. That's been a lot. I did want to talk about the Trees Act. I had some questions about the Trees Act. And I wanted to remind y'all about the Trees Act. It is for the temporary tax relief of standing qualified timber as it relates to damage from Hurricane Helene. And what it does, it temporarily relieves the tax from the last quarter of 2024 and all 4 quarters of 2025. So if someone harvested timber and paid a timber tax in that time frame, if this board adopts a resolution, we would refund their money. Now, and of course, it goes through all the qualifications through the Georgia Forestry Commission and so forth. But ideally, we would refund their money and send a request to the state of Georgia for reimbursement. And if anybody is interested in that, I have the summary here that explains the process. if that is of any interest. I do want to talk about the recreation banquet to be held this Thursday, and, doors open at 6, but the banquet begins at 7. Of course, we always have a silent auction, and I think the main attraction is Jake Fromm. He is the guest speaker, and so I definitely encourage everyone to come out that can, and if you have not got a table, please go ahead and call Randy Spivey, the rec department, get you one. We are filling up fast. They're standing room only.
I got some spots in my table.
So,
Some of y'all need this place to sit. I have a table and I will not be attending. It's a prior obligation.
oh man, oh man.
I have spots for you, is what I'm saying.
Okay. And last but not least, but I know we are well ahead of schedule here, but I do want you to go ahead and mark in your calendars. Thursday, September the 17th, is the Middle Georgia State University Aviation Legislative Appreciation and Open House. That is from 10 a.m. to noon. And they are having a brief program at 11 a.m. And again, you'll have the opportunity to learn about the aviation degrees and certificate programs, tour the facilities, meet faculty, staff, and hear directly from current students.
That's it. Okay, thank you. Any questions from the Board of Commissioners?
I do have a question on that timber tax relief. That's time sensitive, I'm sure. When does that have to be done by?
So did look into that, and currently it is still in the budget, so it's in the 27 fiscal year 27 budget the state has. So as long as it's send it over to for reimbursement by the end of June 30th of next year, we should be good.
Okay, so, but we have to do something to adopt that, right?
Yes, sir. So you will have to create the eligible governing authority shall adopt a resolution. Absolutely.
Yeah, so you have to adopt the resolution. There's a model resolution. You adopt it. All it does is set up a system whereby the people who were affected can apply to the tax commissioner's office for the relief. They have to supply information that includes stuff from Georgia Forestry. It says, yes, this does qualify. It's pretty rigorous to get to that point. And then once they do that, the tax commissioner would approve the request and reimburse the funds. And basically reports back to you that they've done it. They then simultaneously ask for Department of Revenue to reimburse them the amounts that they reimbursed.
All right, well, I don't see a downside to doing this. Is there any reason not to do it?
I will tell you that both Telfair County and Montgomery County have done it. I don't have the exact numbers on how many people have actually applied for the relief. It's not been a great number of people though, because we are getting some reporting. I will tell you, I don't see there's a downside because the money does ultimately get reimbursed. So long as you've got a cash flow, there's not a downside to it. I just don't know how many people actually have affected property that could benefit from it.
It was a small sliver of Dodge County, right close to where I live in South, closer to McRae. But if anyone is eligible, I think we need to make sure they can participate in the program. So,
You want to make a motion then that we proceed with doing the resolution? Is that what it is? And
Yeah,
it's just
so that's
having
a
running
resolution.
We can have the resolution presented at the next meeting.
Okay, would that be okay?
that's fine.
Okay. We'll look forward to seeing it at the next meeting then. Anything else? At this time, it looks like we have an executive session for legal. So once we go to executive session, there's no voting in there. We'll come back out, and if there's a vote, it'll be in here. So can I get a motion, the board, to go into executive session for a legal issue? I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the board? Any discussion from the public? Okay, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it's unanimous. We'll be back out as soon as we finish. Thank you.
Get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion? to have a
Second.
Have a second, any discussion, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, so carried. We're now adjourned. Thank y'all for coming.
All right, you buying supper?
Yeah, you buy? I'm hungry.